A disturbing internet pornography case appears to have been solved. After a 3-year hunt involving investigators across the United States and Canada, a young girl who was featured in a series of sexually explicit photographs has been found and is said to be safe. The child is nearly a teenager and lives with a foster family. Her adoptive father, who apparently took the pictures, is in prison for trading pornography online. Early Show correspondent Tracy Smith has more.
Friday afternoon, the Orange County Sheriff's Department delivered the news Toronto's sex crimes unit had been waiting to hear.
We have located the victim in our case and the witness in our case.
They had been working the investigation for 3 years.
Tell me in general about Disney World Girl. What kind of images did you get?
We have approximately about 200 images of her in a variety of settings.
Detective Constable Bill McGarry lived with the horror of seeing pictures of her having forced sex as an 8-year-old.
So it looks like it went on for a number of years. Can you see her getting older?
We do. We actually have pictures of her even younger than that.
More than half of the pedophiles arrested by Toronto police in the past year have had the Disney World Girls pictures on their computer hard drives.
What we're looking at is it's an arcade.
They released pictures of hotel rooms where she had been abused with her figure removed, so the focus would be on identifying the crime scene.
So you released this and got leads from people saying, hey, we know where this is?
We now know that this arcade is in Disneyland, in the Port Orleans Resort.
When the trail went cold, detectives even took the unusual step of releasing the photo of a girl believed to be a material witness.
I think that this release is more important than sitting back and doing nothing.
Police now know the victim called the Disney World Girl is safe. The FBI arrested her abuser 2 years ago in Pennsylvania. But there are an estimated 50,000 more victims still unidentified, caught in the cruel web of child porn. For The Early Show, Tracy Smith, CBS News, Toronto.
Detective Sergeant Paul Gillespie is with the Toronto Police Department Sex Crimes Unit and was the lead investigator in this case. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How meaningful is it to you and those on your staff who have so tirelessly searched for this little girl that she's found and that she's safe?
Well, I think everybody slept fairly well this week, and it was a great relief to hear that she's safe, and we're very pleased, obviously.
You went to such great lengths, and as we just saw you, some very imaginative ways of trying to identify her and find her. Why was her case so compelling to you?
I think because she was simply indicative of and representative of anybody's child. There was nothing truthfully special or not special about her. But there were lots of clues in the backgrounds of the pictures that we felt we could trace down to try and locate an area geographically where she might have been abused. But she's a representative of just tens of thousands of just victims of horrific abuse that are being traded on the internet, and her terribly so.
Reports say that she was born in Russia. She was initially adopted by a divorced single man. That man, her father, serving 15 years in jail now for trading internet porn. What else can you tell us about this little girl?
Not very much. The investigation is still ongoing, and Orange County sheriffs, working in conjunction with U.S. Immigration and the FBI, have done a great job in this investigation, and as of right now, I can't really comment anything else on the girl.
This victim has been living with a foster family since 2003. Nonetheless, over the last couple of years, you've been searching for her. She was found by the FBI a couple of years ago. Why weren't the two agencies coordinated? Why didn't they notify you that she had been found?
Well, I think we have to understand there's a lot of very similar investigations going on. There's upwards of 19,000 different police forces and law enforcement agencies in North America, and the reality is that there is going to be a disconnect the odd time, but there's some great efforts going on right now, and we're working toward working better and maybe doing business a little differently in the future. So I think this is one of those cases that just shows maybe we need to do a little bit better, but there's some great police work done.
And when you talk about 50,000 victims worldwide, how important might it be to establish an international database here? Because only 500 of these children have even been identified.
Well, yeah, I think everybody would agree that if we could pool our efforts and our resources and the great amounts of information that are available out there and the investigators, I think it would lead us to be much more successful in ending some of these horrific investigations sooner. And this is why we've built something we call the Child Exploitation Tracking System with Microsoft, and we are moving it forward now to hopefully be a global database.
And in this case, thank goodness that this one little girl is safe. Detective Sergeant
Absolutely.
Paul Gillespie, thanks so much for all your hard work. We appreciate your being with us this morning.
Thank you.